Hello and welcome to Songkla Rajabhat University's MOOC course, English for Communication 1. Today we're going to look at Unit 4, talking about your home. So in this unit we'll cover the same three sections we have in the past units. First of all, language in use, people talking about their home, mentioning some of the things they like and don't like. We'll also look at some of the differences in vocabulary between the UK and the USA. Then in Unit 2 we'll have a look at the grammar using there is and there are. We'll also look at this, that, these, those, and some, any, a lot. And finally, in the third video for this unit, we'll take a look at vocabulary, a few words you can use to describe different types of houses, some of the parts of a house, and a few of the items that you'll see in rooms and what we use them for. As always, you'll have a pre and post test available to check your understanding. So let's get started with the first unit, language in use. We'll start with a monologue. Talking about the home and then a couple of example conversations. You see types of phrases talking about the type of house. What kind of house do you have? What's your house like? Talking about the layout and the rooms in a house. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath. The master bedroom is en suite. A big back garden. And adding some additional information. It's a country-style kitchen, wooden floors throughout. We can add these bits when we talk about our homes. So we'll start with the little monologue. Here's an example, someone talking about their house. I'll read through the entire thing and we'll come back and look at some of the phrases used. So, my house. We've just moved into our new house. It's a modern detached house with a huge walled garden. It gives us so much more space than our old flat. Now the kids can each have their own bedroom, and we have lots of room for the dog to run around. The house is a standard 2-story build, but the loft has been converted into a big open plan space with beautiful wooden floors, and there's a small basement too. Upstairs there are 4 bedrooms, 2 are en suite, and there's a 3rd bathroom. Downstairs there's a living room, dining room, kitchen, a small utility room, as well as a WC. Oh, and there's lots of covered space. There's also a veranda at the front, and a 2-car garage, and a large carport at the side of the house. So parking's not an issue anymore either. So this person has just moved into their new home, and a few of the words that they use. Let's take a look. So, a new house. It's a modern detached house. Detached means that it stands alone. It's not connected to any other house. So you could walk round the entire property, all the way around the house. And modern means that it was not built long ago. It's new. And the style is up to date with modern living. It gives us so much more space than our old flat. So another type of property, a flat. If you were American, you'd call it an apartment. So that's a block of flats, or an apartment building has many different houses located within the one structure. So some of the things that the place has. A huge walled garden. So the garden is the area of land around the house that belongs to the property. In this case, it's very big, huge. And all the way round on each side we have walls. You might have a fence or nothing. The rooms in the house. We have 4 bedrooms. 2 are en suite. En suite means has a bathroom attached to the bedroom. So the 2 of the bedrooms have their own bathroom attached, and there's a 3rd bathroom. We also have a living room. The living room is where we tend to sit with family, watch TV, things like that. A dining room. This would be a separate room where we have a table to eat meals. A lot of times that might be part of a kitchen in your own home, or you just use the living room for that purpose. But this house has a separate dining room. We have a kitchen where we cook, and a small utility room. A utility room is just an extra space. Usually people use them for things like putting the washing machine, things like that. So storing them in. As well as a WC. WC is a term meaning water closet. It's another word for toilet or bathroom. However, you would not expect to find a bath in a water closet, just a toilet. So different from a bathroom in that there's no actual bath in there. Oh, and there's lots of cupboard space. So storage can be something that's important. In this case, cupboards can be things that you put in a room, a piece of furniture. In this case, these are built in, so like small rooms on their own. Think of Harry Potter living in the cupboard under the stairs. There's also, in addition to all the rooms, we have a veranda. A veranda is like a balcony but on the ground floor. So it's outside the actual house, usually with a small fence going around it, a flat area you can sit out. If it was on the 1st floor higher up, then we would call it a balcony. On the ground floor, a porch or a veranda. And that's at the front of the house. Somewhere to put your car. A garage. A garage is a separate extra room or building. It can be attached to the house or separate. In this case, it's big enough to hold 2 cars. So we'd expect a large, wide garage in this case. And also a large carport. A carport's another option a lot of houses have. A garage has walls and a door. A carport is just a roof with pillars holding it up that can protect your car from the weather. So this has both a garage and carport at the side of the house. So when we talk about our house, we have the front where we go in the main door, the back, and either side. And in this case, we have a garage and carport. So lots of parking and a huge garden. The only other 2 rooms, we talk about this being a standard 2-story build. Lots of houses have 2 floors, 2 levels. Some have 3 floors or more. But the majority of houses, I think, nowadays have 1 or 2 levels. And most have also a little room at the top. In Britain, we call it a loft. The Americans would call it an attic. and that can often be converted to a usable room. So in this case, the loft has been converted into a big open plan space. So instead of just empty storage, it's now got wooden floors you can walk on and a small basement. A basement is a room below the ground where you can go down under the ground floor of your house. A lot of houses may add something like that, and it's often used as a utility room, for example, or in colder places as a boiler room. So these are phrases used to describe the rooms. You can see how he talks about his house. Have a look around your own house. Which of these words and phrases could you use to describe your house? I'm going to take a look at another example conversation when discussing a house. In this case, we're looking at someone talking to a real estate agent. They're looking for a new house, and the person's asking what do they want. So what kind of place are you looking for? I just want a one-bedroom flat, but it needs to be in the centre of town so I can get into work easily. A small kitchen is fine, I don't cook much, but I would like a bathtub rather than just a shower. Oh, and a small balcony I can sit out on. We have a few available at the moment. What about facilities in the building? It's not the most important thing, but off-street parking would be good. A reliable lift. What else? If it has a gym and swimming pool, that would be nice. Well, I have 3 or 4 places in mind. Why don't I send you details? And if you like the look of any of them, I'll arrange a viewing. So that's an example conversation. And you can see some of the words and phrases used again. Let's just highlight a few of these. So here we're looking for a one-bedroom flat or a small apartment, a house with 1 bedroom. In this case, he's interested in the location where we have the house. A very famous saying is, when it comes to property, location, location, location. That's what this person wants. Something in the center of town. Where is your house located? Is it in the center of town, on the outside of town, near the beach? Things like that you can use to describe it. He wants that so he can travel to work easily. Some of the things he wants, apart from 1 bedroom, just a small kitchen. So this person isn't looking to cook for a family. He says he doesn't cook much. He does not do a lot of cooking. So it doesn't matter if the kitchen's small. But he would like a bathtub. The bathtub is the large basin we sit down in when we want to get washed. So we have a bath or have a shower, and you need a bathtub to relax. A lot of houses I've seen in Thailand don't have bathtubs, only showers. So in this case, this person wants one. Relaxing in a bath can be a good option. So a bathtub rather than just a shower. And he would also like to have a small balcony. Balcony is similar to the veranda. This is a flat area outside of the property, usually on the side of the building, where you can go outside in the open air and in a nice evening sit out. So he wants to sit out on the balcony. The real estate agent thinks they have a few properties like that. Lots of apartments would fit this description. So he wants more information about facilities in the building. If you get an apartment, then the apartment building will come with different facilities. Some have laundries, some have gymnasiums, swimming pools, parking. Some have restaurants built in as part of the complex. Others, it's just stairs and a door to let you into your property. So the facilities, what would he like to have available? In this case, off-street parking, somewhere to put your car or motorbike that it's not on the road. In this case, he says it's not the most important thing. So that would be a benefit, useful, but if it doesn't have that, it won't make a big difference. A reliable lift, or if you were American, an elevator to get up and down. Reliable means that it is always working, never breaks down. And the person's thinking about what he wants. If it has a gym and swimming pool, that would be nice. Again, it doesn't sound like it would make all the difference. Just if there was two choices, one has a gym and pool, that would be better than one that does not. When we speak, we often use something to think about what we're going to say. Hesitations. We can see he uses some here. And even this, what else? Just giving him a little bit of thinking time when he talks about it. Our estate agent, based on what he's asking for, says, well, I have 3 or 4 places in mind. Places means flats, apartments. Why don't I send you details? This phrasing, why don't I? It's the same as saying, I will. I'll send you details. Why don't I send you details? If you like the look of any of them, I'll arrange a viewing. If you want to buy a house or rent a property, it's normal to go and look around and be shown the place before you make a decision. So you get to really understand what you're buying. So that's some examples of talking about a house. I already mentioned there are a few differences. If you grow up like me in the United Kingdom, Great Britain, then you'll speak British English. If you were in the United States, then you probably speak American English. And they're basically the same, but there are a few differences. Sometimes we use slightly different words, and most people will understand both perfectly well, but it's more natural to use one from where you come from. So, depending on who you've studied with, you may have come across some of these words. And there are lots more. We'll see more as we go through the videos. But I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the differences. Flat. We already mentioned a one-bedroom flat or a one-bedroom apartment. The lift or the elevator. A garden. That the house had a huge walled garden. We have a huge walled yard. And we might have a front yard, backyard. The loft, the room above the house, usually in the roof. The attic. Cupboards or wardrobes. In Britain, you'll often find Americans would refer to as a closet. At the sink or on the bath, we would have a tap in Britain, and in America it would be the faucet. Around your windows, we put curtains to keep out the sun and decorate the house. In America, you're more likely to call them drapes. To get rid of your rubbish, we have a bin, maybe a litter bin, dust bin, and you're more likely to find Americans calling it trash can. In the kitchen, when you want to make food, you cook on a cooker. In Britain, Americans will often call that a stove. And you might find the sink, a kitchen sink or bathroom sink. British people, particularly the bathroom one, may refer to it as a hand basin or wash hand basin. So those are a few little differences between words used in Britain and America to talk about your house. Hopefully, if you go through, you can find some phrases that will help you describe your house and be able to use them in a fairly natural way. Thank you very much.